Yet again, you guys are in for a little treat. I did a video and of course it got interrupted and interfered with yet again. But inside this, pay attention, there's some juicy little stuff. I'll give you a quick little short preview right here. Oh, you missed that, but he just said I'll get him.
Little house.
A little house?
Concerned to programming. Programming is
what? Okay, so with that being said, they have been continuously messing with the new device I've been using, which is the GhostTube VOX, as well as other applications that GhostTube has. I don't know these people, I ended up finding their stuff, and let me tell you, they did do a great job. It is very much valid and legit. So with that in mind, I'm going to, at the end of this little recording here, I'm going to play the entire clip, which is only 1 minute and 30 something seconds long. And within that, before I was able to restart the video or push the start button when I turned on the application, which is something I suggest. As soon as you open it, turn it on, because they will squeeze things in the very beginning before you push that record button. They do it to me a lot since I've been using it. So with that in mind, make sure you hit the record button immediately when you open it, because they will do like they did with me. Furthermore, I feel it's very important that I should let you know that there's been this constant game going on with me and the spirits, and with a lot of the actual details of what's actually unfolding and happening. So with this being said, when they said, I'll get them, and then a little house, which that is in kind of reference to is how the other spirit boxes I've been using for a long period of time. There's constant messages that they will help me get a house, or they call out to people for help for a house, and it never happens for one reason or another. And then if you listen after that, you can hear him kind of laughing, which is very obvious that it was an intentional toying and distraction of things as I continued to go on during this entire process that I've been getting familiar with spirits and things that happen. So I got a lot of information from personal hands-on encounters. And again, if you look at my other stuff, you'll see how they mention, me needing a house, my child needing a house, how we lost our house. And then you'll hear the other spirit that came in after saying it's his pro-Grammy. What they're talking about, his Grammy, it's, in other words, how it's been the lie, like a deceit, a way to continue to be fake, like how the movies and actors and everything are kind of fake too, and how it was false information, and it was his pro-Grammy. Now, when I was doing it, I actually thought it was saying programming, because to me that's what it did sound like, was programming, not pro-Grammy, which is actually what it was. This stuff happens all the time within Spirit Box communications. It can even happen when I'm typing out stuff. It's why doing a video can take so long, because I'm constantly replaying that little section a lot, trying to make sure I actually know what that word is, slowing it down, speeding it up, playing with it until I'm as sure as I can be. So errors and accidents do happen even when someone continues to do it, because even you, if you think about it, programming and programming, they sound a lot alike. So it's the same thing that happens all the time. And in the end of this, right before they cut me off, because they said a lot of other things, but right before they cut me off, they pretty much let me know that it wasn't programming, and I missed it. And it was like, oops. But then everything else that they had said after that is totally gone, erased, and you're not going to see it. But what was in there was stuff like, so are you ready for death row? And then my comment was, yeah. I mean, number one, nobody can avoid death. I don't care who you are. It'll come for every single one of us for what we call death, which is not really the way we've been taught to perceive it throughout our lives. But that in itself is loaded and not what I'm trying to get into here on this topic. So And then there was a bunch of other things that were said, and of course it's all gone. It's all erased. It's not there no more. They've been doing that a lot, especially ever since my experiment the other night I did by sleeping by an open mirror, which I knew I shouldn't have done. And I attempted to try to get proof and evidence, which ended up backfiring, which is often what happens to a lot of people. For whatever reason, there are many things that spirits don't want us to end up knowing, finding out, getting proof, evidence, and other things, just like they have done with me. So with this in mind, my intentions was for this to be a short video, but it's going to be a little bit longer because I was explaining everything. But it is what it is. This happens. They did it to me. So I'll play the video again, which is only 1 minute and 30 something seconds long, and then you can go from there. Oh, you missed that, but he just said I'll get him.
Little house.
A little house?
Concerned about programming. Programming is
Programming is what?
I know I had almost 10 minutes of recording, and yet this was all that was recovered at the end of the session. Okay, so this was really interesting, the way that they continued to mess with my devices. Again, ever since I did that experiment the other night, there's been an increase of things. But knowing what I know about spirits, it was intentional that they are wanting this to come out, and it's obvious spirits can lie. So don't always take everything you hear as complete truth. But the thing is that there is truth with some of them. But it's a process to learn and to go through when you're trying to figure out stuff. There are many reasons why spirits can and will lie to us, but that's no different than like you out there when you go and you lie to people, which you do all the time, and don't try to say you don't. You withhold things, you give misleading information. It happens all the time, and for different reasons for each and every individual. So with that in mind, always keep an open mind when you are doing things, reviewing things, learning and going through life. Because this stuff does happen all too often, and everyone always wants to believe the first thing is truth. When you consider history, how many times did they have to rewrite history just to give us the appropriate information? Well, a lot of things are like that. And it still continues to this day. And until you start to open up your mind to the actual truth, it'll be hard for those who are still blind and not awake to what is going on to get and understand the complete truth of everything for what it is as it continues to unfold. So with this in mind, thank you for watching this video as I explain some things about what's going on many levels. So enjoy!